Good evening, SRL fans. We have a cracker game on for you here today. It is the Penrith Panthers at home taking on the Newcastle Knights. Both teams currently without a win, but hopefully following this game, one team will move slightly up ladder and we don't end in a draw. I am Snicko Bro. I am joined by William. How are you today, Will?
Hey Snicko, busy day for us today, obviously playing earlier in the night and doing such a great job in that much there. I'm looking forward to this one very much, and the crowd's just symphonizing right now.
Yeah, you're actually lucky to be alive in the commentary box after the game we had earlier, but I'm glad that nothing happened too severely. I was quite angry towards the end, but we are back and we are looking forward to a great game of SRL. I'm tipping big things for this game. I know Dom Ponkston has been super active throughout the week trying to get his team right. And the Penrith Panthers, they've had quite a few changes. A few debutants. Shaq the Unknown comes into the centres. Lightning McQueen gets his second game in the halves. So they'll be looking to really build as this season goes. As Callum Irwin takes the first hit up for the Panthers. And they go out to Chad Johnson, who's tackled there by Sabbath Tour, who's been working hard on that right edge for the Knights so far this season. Before Lightning McQueen gets some early ball, he has been playing a little bit of lock in the mines. So he's used to taking the hit-ups. But now he's with the big boys. He might want to cut that out as Cody Mansour goes for a bit of a searching run down the right edge. But nothing too much to come out of it. Just a solid set so here for the Panthers. But Rahul Kaval's kicked very early.
It looks that's like a good kick.
An early 40-20.
Oh, and it is.
That is a tremendous kick. It's turned out to be a 40-10. And Jimmy Ralph's going to tap off here. And the Panthers are in great field position as Lennox Prakash, the captain, pushes forward. He's got to be happy with that start so far. 2 minutes and 5 meters out from the Knights line. He's good. But we have a knock on. Mario McEnroe cleans up. Not what you really want to see here from the Penrith Panthers early. Hey, Will.
I mean, the kick there, that's exactly what you want to see, but just the execution, and it's kind of been the story of not only like the season so far, but the last season or two. Just not quite getting those 1% efforts, not getting that finish and that polish on their team. And that's really what costs them points and games.
Yeah, and I am a bit of an expert of the rebuild. We've been in one for a while at the Wars, and hopefully there is light at the tunnel for the Panthers as well, because it's no fun when you're stuck in those trenches. As Davo Nofoalingao goes straight through a nice hole, they've worked that little inside ball twice this set, so maybe they've spotted the Panthers are a bit slow out of marker to cover. I'm not really sure now. As Matt Vaughan goes just a little punt kick down to Thomas Mendonca, and he's brought down in a great tackle there. So it looks like the Knights have settled into this game well. They finally got their hands on the ball and they went 90 metres with the kick, which is good now as Callum Irwin goes straight through a hole and offloads out to Lightning McQueen. But he's brought down in a tackle there. Three of them getting that tackle to slow down to play the ball now. As Jimmy Ralph goes out to Mashawn Metcalf, who goes out to Mendonca. That's a great named edge, Mendonca and Mashawn Metcalf. If only Shaq the Unknown was out there as well, but I think he's on the other side of the field now. As Ralph spreads it out to Callum Irwin. One around the top, and he's brought down in a good tackle there as Bo Sadler gives away a held-in tackle penalty. We've seen earlier tonight just how bad they can be, Will.
Yeah, held-in tackle penalties. Earlier in the round, there was a sin bin as well in the Cowboys game. You know, it's been a bit of a thing this week. A held-in tackle, and it will cost dearly. I think it is kind of what cost the Knights last week. You know, a couple penalties got the Raiders out of their own end and ultimately putting the points on that cost them that win. So I thought that maybe they'd come up a bit more disciplined. I'm sure Dom Ponkston will be drilling it into them for the rest of the game.
Would you say there's been a crackdown this round? Have you and Sonny Toy got onto these referees and made sure they're holding players accountable?
I mean, you could say that, I guess. We've definitely talked to the referee development people. And you know,
I know that you talked to Viggo Rasmussen and Henry Paranara quite a lot throughout our game. Conveniently, how that one turned out. Yeah. As Rahul goes very high to Dom Ponkston. As Dom Ponkston takes that very well, beats one, but good cover defence there from the Penrith Panthers. And it looks like the Knights are doing it pretty easy so far in defence. As Alex Christie takes a big bump. The prop forward in his sophomore year was good as a rookie, and he's improved now. As Bo Sadler spots a little hole, but he's unable to exploit the offside markers now, leaving Dom Ponkston at dummy half, and he goes out to Matt Vaughan on Dakota Diab, who's been solid in that lock roll, if not spectacular so far. They'll be hoping for him to kick on a little bit more. As Matt Vaughan shaped like he wanted a 40-20, and instead threw it out to Sonny Sharp, the rookie taking a great intercept.
Yeah, this Knights, their defense is probably their strong suit in this game. As Lennox Prakash, they're playing in the lock tonight. A good run from him. Definitely their strength is their defense. They just need to be working on that attack and making sure they hold onto the ball, because I don't think they completed a set in that second half last week against the Raiders.
Yeah, and it looks like the Panthers are kind of following their Lightning McQueen says ka-chow and knocks that ball on. And it's that kind of pressure relieving thing that unfortunately has left the Panthers so far trapped on the bottom of the table. They're in a bit of a hole at the moment. It seems like the walls are only getting higher every week, but hopefully tonight they can start to climb out and see a little bit of hope for the rest of their season, because it's a long time in the SRL when you're in a losing season. And Dom Ponkston, he's been a superstar across these first 2 rounds, and he'll be looking to really exploit this tired Panthers defence. As Alex Christie takes another run, unable to get the line break, but still wrestles forward a good 4 or 5 metres now, which has left the Knights in a pretty good field position as Josh Butterfield just punts down. That looks very nice. He's going to sit up in the in goal, and Jonah Lomu sees the defence coming and takes it dead.
Jason Lomu. Jonah Lomu is a big NRL star. But yes, Jason Lomu just bouncing on the ball there like a Panther and taking into touch and goal, in fact. And yeah,
like
I don't know why he did exactly that.
Yeah, and when things aren't going right, they just seem to keep not going right here for the poor Panthers. As Coda Diab takes a nice hit up for the Knights. They have a bit of pressure here, as John Nanai, I do like that man, goes to Coda Diab, who dives over. And I said Coda Diab's been solid, and he's slowly inching towards spectacular. The Knights are up 4-0, and you have to think they'll kick this one as well.
I mean, look at the beard on him. He wasn't even paying attention. He was off in fairyland. The ball came, hit him in the head, caught it, and yeah, that's a fierce beard and a fierce try from Coda Diab.
It just seemed like the Panthers clocked off on the inside. John Nano, obviously, he attracts a lot of attention, and the 2 forwards in front of him got involved, and the one off just seemed to watch as that offload went through on Coda. Diab just went through with a bit of pace here, and yeah, Matthew Vaughan converts that very well, and the Panthers crowd there's a hush going over the crowd. They're not happy with how their team's performing so far.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be a bit of salt in the wound, considering that Coda Diab was a Panthers player last season. It's just a little bit more salty about it. They won't be too pleased with such a soft try.
And from memory, the departure was quite acrimonious from Coda Diab. There was a little bit of bad blood there, and the Knights picked him up mid-season, so he'll definitely enjoy getting one. Bailey Wilson, maybe? Oh no, I think that's Mario McEnroe, the rookie, just sits John Nannard down, and that's no mean feat. That's a great job from him. But Alex Christie gets the momentum back straight away. And now Battlefield goes out
0
to, I think Lennox Prakash got a hand on that now. Both sides of the plays clean up, and the Knights have got a bit of momentum after that 6 again as Alex Christie pushes forward. He's had a lot of touches so far. I'm not sure who's playing 8 for the Knights. Do you know, Will?
For the Knights, it would be...
Oh, John Nano, of course. But he's barely been cited compared to Christie. He's got through a mountain of work so far. But, of course, Nana does have the try assist, which is going to help. As now Matthew Vaughan pushes forward. And it's only third tackle thanks to that 6 again. And Knights are well within the Panthers half here. And if they keep going forward well, as Bo Sadler does just that, they're going to be in a good position for an attacking kick here. And they might be able to just keep the pressure on. As Ponkston gets into half and goes out to Rusty Shackelford. Maybe close enough for a bomb. We'll have to wait and see what Matthew Vaughan thinks.
Yeah, surely. Oh, a grubber.
As he instead goes to Butterfield, who goes with the grubber kick, and Chad Johnson cleans that up quite nicely in the end.
Yeah, I don't mind that 5th tackle option there from Josh Butterfield. I thought that's probably the way to go on that one. Just put one along the ground, try and put a little pressure, and if an error pops up, an error pops up. If not, just defend, and that's what the Knights, they really just need that at the moment.
Yeah, and I have heard grubbers are hard to catch. Igor was telling me after our game, but I think he just needs to work on his handling. It only cost us the game, but nothing to remark there. We're focused on the Knights and Panthers now, as Chad Johnson takes that one forward. And Panthers have done a great job to get out of trouble here as Lightning McQueen punts, and it looks like he's gone over the top of, is that Miko Rashford out there? It is, but he's a dangerous ball returner, but having said that, Mashaw Metcalf just swallows him up and pushes him over backwards, and a great one-on-one tackle there. So now Knopfler and Gowie, 2 passes out to Alex Christie, who is doing a whole lot of work here. Gets him out to the 30-metre line with Matt Vaughan. Now run the inside play to Ponkston, who gets a sneaky little line break. Cody Mansour's able to wrap him up, but it's just another line break for that man. He's racking them up like crazy this season. Now Shackelford gets one, and the fullback isn't at home, but he doesn't quite have the speed. But he does have a break. Bray has 2 break tackles, and in the end, he's brought down only 3 metres out from the Panthers line, which is tremendous. And they go the crash later, John Nanai, but he's held up here, so they're going to have 1 tackle left to see if they can work something. As Butterfield plays a grubber, and Coda Diab goes over for a double.
Wow, I have some questions whether Coda Diab was onside for that kick, but before we talk about that, Raging Bull... Rusty Shackelford, where did that come from? It looks like he may have been offside here, Diab.
It looks like he may have knocked it on as well, which is very unfortunate for this Penrith team. Like I said, when you're in a hole, the dirt just keeps getting piled on top of you there. The referee is doing Panthers no favours. And yeah, that was all set up by that terrific run from Rusty Shackelford.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think he must have ran 40 metres, broke 2 tackles, put it around the fullback. You don't see that very often from a big-bodied second row. I don't even think he's max speed yet. So
yeah, it just seemed like every time someone got close to him, they just fell off the back of him, which is crazy. Good signs for him so far, but that's a danger sign for the Penrith Panthers. They're going to have 3 minutes before they can get some new props on, and hopefully Bailey Wilson can enter the fray and give them a bit of punch on the go forward, because it's been sorely lacking so far in this game. As Caval kicks off, which is becoming all too familiar for the Panthers team this season, as Polston takes it and goes out to Nanai, who luckily isn't sat down this time, because I don't want to see that twice in one game. It hurts me. As Sadler goes out to Butterfield now, who goes to Starford to I thought he was going to break a tackle there, but he's unable to replicate Rusty's feats here, but still makes a good 10 metres. Now Shackelford goes almost through again. He also looks like he could have broken a tackle there. The Panthers are finding themselves on the backside of this Knights team as they go out to Ponkston, who steps one, turns poor Shakti unknown inside out. He has no idea how to make the tackle. Tackling is unknown to him still. As Butterfield now goes to Nana, who gets one back there with a nice bump off. And Knights have done well here. They've gone 73 metres off that kick. And they might have a chance for a bomb as Butterfield instead
he's gone himself.
Fullback's not at home. And Butterfield has gone straight through. And this is turning into a blowout.
Wow, that is quite something there. Butterfield just showing his greatness. Now, I spoke to Josh during the week, and he was a bit concerned. He was saying he's not feeling like he's on his game. He's not putting in those good kicks, not getting those opportunities. And I really couldn't give him much advice. I just said, take it and just be yourself and play how you like to play. And it looks like he's embraced that so far. He's got, 2 try assists and a try. That's just incredible.
So just to clarify for the viewers at home, a halfback came to Will Kay for kicking advice.
Butterfield and I, we played a while. We're part of that Premierships team in Season 3 for the Sea Eagles. We worked a lot together. And yeah, I think it was more about the mentality. And I've just got that winning mentality, Snicko, as we saw only 2 games ago at that 5 o'clock.
Goodbye. If I was kicking off, we're going to move on from the conversation. He goes straight down to Don Polkston again, and he'll go back to... Nanai's off the field, so he goes to Rusty Shackelford. Nanai just dipped off that field, and Alex Christie's running behind him here. That almost worked out not so good for the Knights now. As Polkston goes straight through, just turns one inside out, but he's unable to get past Cody Mansour. But it looks like Panthers could be in a little bit of trouble here. The fullback's been making tackles, and now Matt Vaughan looks like he's going to slice through, almost does.
Oh, God.
And a held in tackle penalty. So I think that's 1 for either team so far. So the next one in the game will be a sin bin warning, and we know what happens after that. The poor team loses the game. So Butterfield goes downfield. There's 35 metres gained right there. And Bo Sadler's going to tap off. And it looks like the Knights could go... This is their 3rd set since they scored their 2nd try. If they score here, that's 18 points without the Panthers touching the ball. And I don't care what team you are. If you don't have the ball in your hands, it's very hard to score. Ponkston was through. He was through a hole, and he was too generous. He goes out to Miko Rashford, who's brought down, but it is only second tackle. And now Stafford Tour gets it, and he's pushing forward. He'll end up 3 or 4 meters out from the line. They're going to have options either side, but they go left out to Dakota Dowd. His ball playing out to Josh Butterfield. He's got one. He wants two, and I think he's made it to the line. Josh Butterfield having the game of his Knights career so far with 2 early tries in this game.
Wow. I mean, all credit to me, I think. No, in all seriousness, Josh Butterfield, he's playing in his element at the moment. Just incredible the way he's playing. He's a quality 5'8", and it looks like they've made a very simple change this week, and that's giving him a bit more responsibility, and so far it's working for him.
Yeah, that's 24-0. I'm going to trust Matt Vaughan to kick this one and not make a fool out of me. 18 points without the Panthers even touching the ball, which is ridiculous. This home crowd is unhappy. They want to see their side with the ball. They want a little bit of fight. They want a big hit. They want something to turn this momentum around. Because at the moment, it's all stops to Newcastle. And it seems like every Knights player is cashing in. So Lennox Prakash is going to have to do something here. He's the captain. He needs to stand up. Because at the moment, this Panthers team is rudderless and they are drifting.
Yeah. They're just not looking too hot right now, the Panthers. Not much to be said. The Knights just simply outclassing them. The way they're running the ball as Huston Richards has found his way on the field now. They've just been attacking very well since that first try. And it's going to be just back-to-back, I think, for a while here. The Knights just too good.
Yeah, they're running red hot at the moment, the Knights, and the Panthers have been burnt. Not much more to say. 24-0 in 24 minutes is pretty dangerous as they get out to Nate Fisher. It's another line break. Cody Mansell makes a tackle. He's been doing a lot of defensive work early, so he'll have to make sure he has some good fitness or he could be up for an injury later in the game. As now Rusty Shackelford almost went straight through again, and the fullback once again wasn't at home, so it could have been very, very dangerous. As Bo Sadler goes out, Dakota Diab, who puts up the punt down to Thomas Mendonca, who is unable to get past the Knights right centre, does a great job wrapping up there. And the Panthers finally have the ball. It's taken them about 15 minutes and 18 points, but they've got possession, but it is second tackle and they're only 11 metres out from the line. So they're in a bit of a danger spot, but this is when your big players step up. And Lightning McQueen goes to Stafford, who steps up and gets sat down there by a band dishwasher, I believe. An interesting name and an interesting haircut for that man, but what he's doing is working because that was a great tackle. And now Lightning McQueen throws a ball that goes to no one, and Davo Nofalangawi swoops on that. And I thought the Panthers were going to give away a holding tackle penalty, but they go out to Mika Rashford and he beats one, but the cover defense is there. But the Knights are scheming here. Butterfield wants the first half hat trick, and Stafford Tour takes a settler. This is exactly how they set up for his last try. One up the middle and then spin it out to Josh Butterfield. And they go to him again, but he ball plays this time to Dokalic. The big, tall centre is turned on his back, and he falls from a great height to be brought down 1 metre from the line. And then they go out to Chad Johnson from Panthers, takes a tremendous intercept because it looked like the Knights were going to score there, and they're not happy with that intercept, and they give a sin bin final warning with that penalty. Could that be a bit of change in momentum, Will?
Yeah, there could be a bit of change of momentum there, indeed, Snicko. It wasn't really needed penalty. Like, if the Knights just kept on defending, stopping the Panthers getting out of their own end, like really holding them down in this yardage area, I dare say they'd crack again and then get another shot at scoring. But instead of that, they just were way too slow on the ruck. And yeah, I think they were just a bit caught up that Butterfield was taken without the ball.
Is that how the interception happened there? I must have missed that. Yeah, well, he scored 2 tries, and the Panthers don't want to see him get through for a third, so they're just hitting him regardless of whether he has it or not. But the Panthers finally have some field position. It's taken them 28 minutes to get down here, as Chad Johnson just takes one straight at stuff and puts something together along with Rahul Kaval. He won't be Lightning McQueen because he's just been tackled, but Kaval's sitting just to the right of the dummy half. And it looks like Jimmy Ralph's shaping to go to him, and he does. He puts it high into a nice spot here near the Ponkston is under it. Ponkston is under it, but he gets swallowed back in a great tackle there by Kaval, who shows his leadership qualities by following his kick chase perfectly to force the line drop out.
Yeah, good take there from Ponkston.
And Matt Vaughan gets us back underway. Yeah, it was definitely needed. It looked like it might have fallen in no man's land, but he did a great job there to come through on the run and take that. As now Bailey Wilson, he's only been on the field for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but he's had a bit of an impact so far. Changed the momentum slightly, but tremendous for the Knights. As now Stafford takes on forward. He'll be looking to make up after Ben Dishwasher swallowed him before. Sonny Sharp gets a rare run out on this right edge for this Panthers team. So they're spreading the ball around well, but they're just so far unable to crack the defence. And Stafford takes another one. He ends up about 2 meters from the line, and Dom Ponkson's in the tackle, which doesn't really matter that plays. He gets back now, and McQueen goes very high out to Michelle Metcalf, who is unable to take it. It ends up being Miko Rashford, flat-footed, and no one has a Panthers defense, but they're catching him just in time. He could be dangerous in the second half with a bit of fatigue there, as now Rusty Shackelford gets it again, unable to replicate his heroics from earlier in the game, but still a good run. And now Butterfield goes wide to Dustin Richards, who's driven back in a strong tackle there. I think that could be the first time I've seen the Knights taken like that so far. So that's good signs for the Panthers team here. As now Ben Dishwasher takes a nice run. I'm not sure what he has against dishwashers, but interesting choice of first name by his parents. As now Sadler goes to Vaughan, who's inside his 40, but it looks like Mendonca's back to cover, and he is. Big tackle here needed, and again they make it. They've been really good, Dave O'Noppel and Gowie out on that wing.
Yeah, both the Knights centers, they've impressed me so far in this game. Nofelengawi and Dokalic have both been very solid in their roles and what they've been doing. So they just need to keep it up, especially in defense, but attack too.
Yeah, at 24 points to nil, you don't need to do much but keep grinding out. It's a big mountain to climb for this Panthers team. As Bailey Wilson goes straight through Dustin Richards, and he goes back to let it crash, but Bo Sadler's there to wrap him up, along with Coda Diab, but it gives them a bit of momentum as Chad Johnson now charges straight at that man we were giving raps to, Dave O'Noppel and Gowie, and he wraps him up quite comfortably. As now Michelle Metcalf goes to Lightning McQueen with a nice grubber there, and he goes to Cody Mansour, but unfortunately they're just too far out from the line wheel, and there's no result.
Yeah, just unfortunate there. From the Panthers, really nothing too flashy about that play. It was just a set play and it didn't work, and that happens sometimes, you know. So the Knights, they're just going to get back in the saddle here.
Exactly, and to compound it, Dustin Richards broke a tackle immediately on that first run and just got him out of trouble instantly. As now Ponkston spreads it wide to Vaughan. He's had a strong game so far, doing a lot of running, a lot of kicking. But Butterfield has, of course, been the star in the heart as Vaughan throws one of those pesky forward passes that seem to creep into his game every once in a while. And the Panthers are now in good field position. Mantle just burns one straight through Ben Dishwasher like he was not even there. Too busy washing dishes. Now Jimmy Ralph goes out to Rahul Kaval, who goes out to Shaq the Unknown. About time we see him involved. And Jason Lomu takes a tackle. Good tackle there by the Knights. And now Lennox Prakash goes out to Kurt Stafford. And it looks like they have a little bit of shape going on here, the Penrith Panthers. So it'll be interesting to see if they can force a result. Ooh. As Ralph goes to Kaval, who goes short ball to Bailey Wilson. He's pushing over, but he's turned on his back. But it did look a little promising there for a second. They're going to have 2 more tackles. They go out to Cody Johnson. Ooh, great tackle there. Sabbath Tour helping out his halfback as he has all game. And now Lightning McQueen has another grubber, but Bo Sadler's there to clean it up. This Knights team is resolute at the moment, guarding their line. What does this Panthers team need to do in the second half, Phil, to really make a game out of this?
They need to just keep on putting those kicks in, I think. Those cheeky grubbers, the ones that really test along the ground, because I think that's really the only way to break this Knights defense down at the moment. The Raiders last week, they had a hard time breaking them down until about the 70th minute. So yeah, it's all about just really trying to force errors and get that ball back and just keep on trying. It's a chipping away at it.
Well, how's this defensive set? The Knights made all of 20 metres, which is almost unheard of in the SRL. The Panthers just monstered them time and time again, like they knew what was coming, and it means Jason Lomu is going to get tackled on about the 50-metre line to start the set, and it's a pity there's only a minute and a half left in this game, because it feels like the Panthers have finally gotten moving here, as Cody Johnson makes a nice tackle there, nice tackle break, and offloads out to Lightning McQueen. But with a minute left on the clock, they're not going to have the full set here, so we have to see if they go the early kick. Because like Will said, that has where they've looked most likely. As now Lennox Prakash goes straight through a hole. But Bo Sadler wraps him up like he has done all game. Bit of a tackling machine there. And Jimmy Rapp goes out to Johnson, who looks like he's going to push forward here. He's going to get really close to the line, and I think he's over. And right on the stroke of halftime, he celebrates in the background. Johnson has scored for the Panthers, and there is hope in this team.
Yeah, wow. That is a turn of events there for the Panthers. Getting some points on the board before halftime. That's definitely going to be good for them. Doing a whole world of hope and such. I think that the Knights will be a bit upset that they didn't get numbers around Chad Johnson there. But ultimately, they're still 18 points up at halftime. I don't think Don Pong should be too stressed, but he won't want any more.
I've just realised I've been calling poor Chad Johnson Cody Johnson all game. I do apologise. I'll make sure to fix that up for the second half. Chad Johnson with a great try. I'm just happy the home team scored. So you got to see those cheerleaders. I've been waiting all night for that. As Kavar slots it over right on the stroke of half-time, and the Knights are going to go into half-time up 24 points to 6. With a kickoff, it looks like. So, no, the Hooters gone. Do they still kick off, Will? It looks like they might.
It looks like Bigger Rasmussen hasn't heard the hooter. I don't know how, but
the crowd's too loud.
The crowd is just too loud. It's too electric right now. The Panthers, they're celebrating their one try like they've just won a premiership. 18
points.
And
they're down 18 points.
Louder than the hooter.
As Lightning McQueen goes to Irwin, and I'm shocked he takes the tackle.
Us.
And Knights are up 24 points to 6 at halftime. Welcome back to Penrith Home Stadium, where they're taking on the Newcastle Knights. They're down 24 points to 6. It's been a bit of one-way traffic so far until 1 minute to go in the first half, where Chad Johnson crossed for a great try. Will, what do you think each of these teams would have spoke about at halftime?
Yeah, I think Knights, it was just about getting to that early form that they had in the game, just making sure they can come back out here, roll over the top of the Panthers and get some points on. And the Panthers, exactly opposite. They need to be strong defensively so they can back it up and make a platform for their attack to try and get some points on the board.
Yeah, and as you said that, Bo Sadler just sliced through that Panthers lineup, which we saw way too many times in that first half. So it looks like Lennox Prakash wasn't quite able to get to his team. As Goku Simpson goes straight past Shaq the Unknown there, two of the more prominent rookies in these teams. They're going to be matching up over and over again, as now Bo Sadler gets the ball again. And I think that's maybe the first time I've seen Goku Simpson with a positive involvement, which is great for the young man. Having said that, I haven't watched a whole of the Knights games this season because they seem to be a bit depressing for what Don Pogs has been saying in chat, as Cody Mantor makes a good take there. A great step for the Knights to start the game. They've won 95 metres with a kick and turned it over. So they've left the Panthers with a whole lot of work to do, as Chad Johnson, being the workhorse all game for the Panthers, takes another one up. And now Lind, who's just come onto the field to play halfback or 5'8", I'm not 100% sure, goes out to Mario McEnroe. Now Mataus, who's also playing in the halves, goes to Shaq the Unknown, and he goes straight past Johnny Djokovic there before he's able to wrap him up. So it looks like both him and Goku have had a bit of a go-to move so far in this second half, and maybe that little mismatch could keep this game entertaining, because it's looking to be a bit of a blow-up now as they go down to Goku Simpson again, and Shakti wraps him up quite comfortably there. What do you think about that, Will? Are we going to see a victory, or are they just going to hang out on the edge all night?
I'm not too sure yet. I think it'll kind of just be back and forth for a while. As the Knights, they're probably just going to try and just get back to what their form was. I'd love to see Shakti though. I want to see him score and debut. I really do. And I'd love to see a Goku Simpson try at some point. So those are my that's on my wish list. That's on my bingo card. So if we could see that tonight, that'd be great.
Well, Batsugar Loopy's got him in great position there with that run out of dummy half. He's just come on the field as well, so he's a fresh man. A former gunslinger, I believe, so a man close to my heart now, as he goes out to Josh Butterfield, who goes high, and that's placed well. They're not going to be able to take that in the in-goal, but there's no Knights defence, and Jason Lomu is able to take it 8 metres out from the line. And for a moment, I thought there'd be another line dropout, but the Knights clocked off for a second. And they'll have to be careful that they stay switched on the whole game, because that's how you get ran down. This Panthers team's come to play in the second half as Hendrik Lind takes a nice little hit up, which is strange for a halfback, but seems to be a modus operandi for the Panthers so far. They're not using a whole lot of width. I think Chad Johnson's the furthest it's got out on this left-hand side so far. Sean Metcalf not seeing a whole lot of ball now, as Cody Mantle slices through and gets the offload out to Sio Matus. Mataus, who's tackled by Don Ponkston. So it means there's no fullback. So we could see a Goku Simpson or Mika Rashford special here. But the ball, unfortunately, ends up in the belly of Sonny Sharp before he goes out to McEnroe. And the Panthers are going to turn the ball over 45 metres out from the Knights line.
Yeah, once again, not much going there, not much polish from the Panthers, and the Knights are going to start their set pretty much on the 50 here. They'll get a good opportunity to get some positioning and good possession down this 20 probably.
It just feels like every time the Knights get the ball, they're just cranking the pressure up notch just a tiny bit as Nanai breaks a tackle and offloads to Sadler. So the two middle forwards combining well there as Bachelupi goes to Dustin Richards. Strong run. He's been moved out to that left edge after half-timers. Now Bachelupi sees a little bit of space, but he's swallowed in the end there. He looked like he had half metre of space for a second, but the Panthers just converged on him now as Butterfield goes to Dokalic, who grubbers through, and Dom Ponkston. He scores tries for fun, this man, and he's added another one to his tally here tonight.
Yeah, great try there from Dom Ponkston. Who was the kicker? It looked, it was Dokalic. That is great from him. He doesn't look that tall in this Knights outfit, but that's saying something because I believe he's 220 centimeters still.
He's max height, and when you have size 14 boots like he does, it might be a little bit easier to kick, a bit more margin for error.
Yeah, it's a bit more like table tennis rackets than boots at that size.
Yes, but you know what they say about big boots as well. Great kicking, as we've seen just there, as Matt Vaughan slots it over, and it looks like the first half is resumed where the second half is resumed where the first half left off. The Knights are up by 24 points, and this hill's getting mighty high for this Panthers team.
Yeah, 24 points is quite something to come back. You know, we've seen 18-point comebacks in this match, in this tonight, in this round, but yeah, nothing quite like a 24-point comeback at this stage of the game. It's going to be a tough hill if the Penrith Panthers want to try and climb it. The Newcastle Knights, though, no chances of letting off the acceleration anytime soon.
Yeah, and I believe the Knights have some for and against points to make up, so they'll be doing their best here. They were doing their best here to really get that back up the ladder, but Chad Johnson's just stuck his hand out and caught that Bo Sadler offload, and maybe the Panthers can hit back here and keep this game interesting as Sio Mataus takes a hit up, but Dustin Richards is there to meet him, brings him down 15 metres out, and Dom Ponkston's formed into the line here, but he does drop out eventually. So interesting fullback tactic there. Means it'll be a bit harder for him to take the grub now as McEnroe takes a hit up and goes straight through two offside players. I was just talking about Dom Ponkston getting in the line, and McEnroe spotted it straight through the middle, and I said the Panthers could keep it interesting. That'll be 30 points to 12 here, and maybe the 24-point comeback could happen, Will.
And you never know, really. It's the SRL. Anything can happen. And that is a great run from McEnroe. He just noticed two offside players. You know, personally, if I'm Don Ponkston or Bo Sadler, I just take that tackle there. Where the penalty and probably the sin bin on the chin. But yeah, just letting in some easy points. I guess maybe they didn't really care that much considering the lead they have, and they decided it's better to just let some points in rather than be binned and maybe suspended the next match.
You heard it here first. Storm captain endorses being sin binned. Sounds on brand for that club. It looked actually like Ponkston got stymied by the goalpost as he was getting back on side. He sort of bounced off and he couldn't quite get there, which is just unfortunate. Sometimes these things happen in the SRL and there's nothing either player can do about it. But the Knights are kicking off for only the third time this game. We've seen Rahul Kaval do a whole lot of it, and then I believe it was Henrik Lind in the second half also had a crack. But unfamiliar position here as Vaughan gets us underway again. Goes down to Henrik Lind, who goes to Callum Irwin, who I thought he was going to burst through for half a second there. Sillier things have happened in this game. But Bo Sadler's there to meet him with Coda Diab. And now Lennox Prakash takes the run. He's been solid this game, but I'd like to see a bit more from the captain at lock. I don't think he's had a line break yet now. As Mataus goes out to Sonny Sharp. No sunshine out there for him. He's met in a good tackle by Dustin Richards. A tough matchup for the young man. Dusty was rookie of the year almost. Playing on that left edge for the Rabbitohs and was in Queensland contention but didn't quite crack the squad. And he's looking to go back there again, so he's dressed up to impress this game. And there's a bit of a head knock there from the Panthers, but Lennox Prakash cleans up for his young squad like he has been doing all season now. And Bailey Wilson goes to Henrik Lind, who shanks one almost and goes out to Mika Rashford, but he's brought down a good tackle there. I thought he'd be through for a second, but Cody Mansell was there to wrap him up. And now Knopfler and Gary goes out to Sadler, who goes to Coda Diab, met by two good Penrith defenders there, but he's got a quick play the ball, and Patrick Lupi goes to Dustin Richards, who, like I said, wants to earn that Queensland spot. He's been very vocal about it so far. He's playing well so far. Now Goku Simpson gets it, but Shaq the Unknown sends him backwards. Very tip for tat out there. And now Dokalic goes to Dustin Richards with a bit of an X play. If that goes to the back man, you often see the tries. The defense doesn't react, but unfortunately plays the lead there. And now Dokalic gets in the way of Dustin Richards' pass. And a bit anticlimactic there for the Knights. They looked really good, but the Panthers have repelled them very well. And now Thomas Mendonca goes straight through, makes it a very casual 40 metres. There could be life in this game yet. Thomas Mendonca, I believe he was at the Cowboys last season. Is that correct?
Mendonca, I'm actually not too sure where he was. Maybe I think he may have been at Penrith again.
Right, so just... Yeah, anyway, we'll forget I even said anything there, but he makes another line break there, goes straight past Nico Rashford, who is electric, but looks like his arms aren't working too well. Tackling not a strong suit for him tonight, but it doesn't really matter when you're up by 18 points, as Henrik Ling goes out to Mantle again, straight past Rashford. But Dom Ponkston, Captain Courageous, is there to make the tackle. It means he won't be there for the kick, and you see Goku Simpson getting crossing cover. But if they go to that right edge, there's going to be a lot of space. But Lind instead just drops it, not even onto his boot, just drops it straight to Coda Diab. And he's been great this game. He's played all 56 minutes, and he's there to clean up. Has Stafford tour wraps around the back.
Yeah, great stuff from there. They're just cleaning up the Knights. Really easy for them. Yeah, not much hassle at the moment. Anything that the Panthers are throwing at them, they're pretty much responding to in the same fashion, and in totalitarian fashion. They're just wiping them off the park here.
Yeah, for viewers at home who don't understand that, what does totalitarian mean? Can I please have a definition?
I realise now that I've actually used the wrong word, because that means more... that's more on the lines of the cult that you work at, Snicko. I meant just totally. Totalitarian is more like you leading the Waz cult.
I wish I led that cult. That would be tremendous. As Cody Mantor gets flattened, I believe maybe they're running an authoritarian dictatorship here, the Knights team, on this line. They're just making the Panthers team submit over and over again. They don't have a chance of even hitting back. They're 19 metres out from their line on the third tackle. This defence has been great so far. As Bailey Wilson goes out to Mantor, who beats one. He's been a bit of a shining light. I thought he was going to turn Ponkston inside out. But he's too good. That 30 tackle stat really pulling through for him here. As Mataus goes early, he saw Ponkston wasn't at home, and he's gone the early 40-20 kick, but didn't quite have the angle, and eventually Ponkston's there to clean up. And yeah, that man's tired. He's just made two superb efforts for his team, and he's unable to break a tackle here. As Dokalic stands at half and goes to Butterfield, who goes out to John Nanai, unable to make any inroads in this Panthers defence, and that could be his last hit up for this stint, with the subs about to come on now. Stafford Tour plays a little bump pass off Josh Butterfield. They were running the same hole there, so you never want to see that. They just took away each other's space. Now, as Dokalic goes straight through one, Shaq the Unknown wraps him up. That man's been very good on debut. Then he's a hard place to defend in the SRL, as many a rookie has found out. As now Sadler takes the hit up. Just a little settler there. They'll be looking to get a good kick away here and have some good kick defence, because that's one way that the Panthers could get on the board. Josh Butterfield with a great kick there. He puts it in the in goal, but it bounces back. But it doesn't matter because Cody Mansour goes straight through the Knights' defence. But Tom Ponkston again is there to wrap him up. It feels like we're in a holding pattern at the moment, Will. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's just not much going on at the moment. Ponkston's defense has been the saving grace of a couple line breaks from the Panthers, but yeah, not much really going on at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully with some lock substitutions for each team and some new props, we can see some action. Cody Mantor's been valiant. He's been beating a lot of first-time tacklers, but the Knights defense, they've done a lot of video on him. Being great here as Lightning McQueen ends up in that prop role, coming back on after half-time. I thought he was a halfback and got in position for the kick, but unfortunately not his job at the moment. And now Mataus gets it. A great kick down, but Rashford's there to clean up, and he's going to be on the other side of halfway by the time he gets tackled, which is a great start for this Knights team. They're going to be in attacking territory very, very quickly with the strength of their forward so far, as Richards takes one straight out the Panthers defense. There's no hole there for him, but they have got the overlap now on the short side as Dokalic runs straight at Shaq the Unknown. I don't think he's missed a tackle yet tonight. Maybe one on Goku Simpson, but he's a hard man to tackle, so he's forgiven. But he's done a lot of work out there at that right centre. They've been running at him a whole lot. As now Nate Fisher's back on for the Knights at prop.
Oh.
And that was a very interesting ball from Butterfield, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I thought he was through it. Then he tried to throw an intercept to Ponkston. Didn't quite work now. And now Vaughan goes high. No one there for the tap back. I know Ponkston is, but he's wrapped up well there by the Panthers defence. And it feels like inch by inch, this Knights team is encroaching on the Panthers territory here. And if something doesn't change soon, there's going to be a try coming.
Yeah, I can smell it from a mile away here, Snicko. Oh, and there's a bit of a change there. Lightning McQueen straight to the line. Yeah,
I actually didn't shower after our game, so that could be what you're smelling. I was a bit
Oh.
distraught.
Well, in that case, it wouldn't smell like a try because you don't get any of those, Snicko. That you leave that to Yegor, don't you?
Well, he can't pick up the ball, so no, I won't be doing that anymore. As now Henrik Lynn takes a nice little, takes the ball to the line. Oh, and we have an ankle spray for Sonny Sharp. That could be dire here. Is he going to be able to carry on? He is, but on to next week. That could be very interesting. He's left the field.
Oh, Butterfield.
And Butterfield's in the backfield. I was too focused on Sonny Sharp, the poor man.
Oh, he's back out there.
He's still in the defensive line. He's tried to get away, but unfortunately they punted and they don't like the sub in defense. So maybe Dusty Richards can really compound his night here and run straight through him for a try. But they're not going at the injured man. Baku Jalupi goes right out to Don Ponkston, who's wrapped up well there by Mashawn Metcalf. Great tackle on the edge now as Alex Christie's back on the field and goes straight through a hole. I thought he almost beat Cody Mansell then, which would be a great feat, but Mansell's been great in defense all night. But they're shaping up to go at Sonny Sharp. Ooh, very courageous there. He's got the sore ankle, but he uses his nice strong arms to make the tackle. And now Butterfield has it. Another grubber. They've been so
Sonny's
good this
gone.
game for him.
He's
But Chad
sprinting
Johnson's
off.
there. Yeah. And Sonny says, I've done my job. No more defense for me. I'm off the field. So I'm not sure who they'll have to come on.
Oh,
it
Ralph.
looks like...
Jimmy Ralph at second row.
Yeah, Jimmy Ralph into second row. He's got a lot of speed, so we'll have to see how that works out for him. As now Cavall takes a nice hit up, just sliced through the Knights' defence. And it leaves the Panthers only 50 metres out from the Knights' line. And now Callum Irwin's driven backwards. It just feels like every time they get a line break, the next tackle they get driven back. This Knights forward pack has been unrelenting here tonight. And see, here's a line break from Chad Johnson. And he throws the intercept into John Nanai. That man attracts balls like he attracts offers. Every single time free agent he comes around, he's a very sought-after man, and the Knights landed with him this season as Rashford takes the hit up. And maybe a little bit of a break in the holding pattern there as the Panthers had 2 line breaks in that set, but I'm going to back the Knights in here to be the next to score because it just feels like at the moment there's too much class, and even then we have the offside player and Christie bumps off one, but they're able to get across in cover. But every single tackle, this Panthers team's getting bent out of shape, and it leaves Dustin Richards tackled 27 metres out from the Panthers line. So maybe a bomb here from Butterfield. He does not. Instead, he just punts down to Mendonca, who gets close to the sideline, but never really in any danger. And Michelle Metcalf at dummy half here to go out to Lind, who goes to Chad Johnson. He's done a lot of work. He worked really hard for that one try. He's got through a whole lot of metres, but just not a whole lot coming from this Panthers team at the moment.
No, and I think it's a lot to do with their subs. It's certainly an interesting theory that they're trying out, subbing both their halves off for their bench halves at halftime. Personally, not something I do, but it's definitely a strategy. Yeah, I'm not sure how you feel about that one, Snicko.
I think, unfortunately, for Paul Lennox, he's had a lot of inactives, and by the time he got to the Mines, there weren't a whole lot of players left, so he's just playing the hand he's been dealt, I think, in some senses. I guess you could put him on at lock, maybe a bench centre. I'm not really sure. Yeah, there's been a few that have done it in their career, as Ponkston goes for a bit of a line break here, and Cody Mantle dives, he misses him, but there's still one more in cover. Yeah, no, Michelle Metcalf's at right centre still. I'm not sure who that was.
Oh, it's Lumu. It's your mate,
Oh,
Jason.
Lomu. Yeah, Jason from the other edge. I thought Don Ponkston almost stuck through for one there. Now Vaughan goes out to Ponkston again. Goes to Rashford. He's too good close to the line. Straight through for another try. Try assist to Don Ponkston. Yeah, we saw that one coming from a mile away. The Knights have just been working them for the last 50 minutes. Straight through there. And I mean literally straight through the Panthers defence. Miko Rashford over for he scores tries almost every game. It feels like.
You know, Rashford, he's one of the best young wingers of the competition. He had a great breakout season last year, and now he's having another good start to the season for the Knights. It's been a rough start for the team as they are yet to win a game, but I think that it's pretty safe to say that they'll win this one. And it's well deserved for the Knights.
Yeah, I think they've versed some good teams tonight so far. It's not like they've been
toughest start, I reckon.
Yeah, and they've been competitive in all their games. So they have a chance to build a bit of a streak here. Do you know who they have next week, Will?
I'm not too sure as of right now. I'll have that in a moment. It looks like they have Rabbitohs next week. Sorry, no, they got Warriors next week. I think you should know that.
Knights. Very sorry,
you probably
Knights.
should know that, Snicko, that you've got them next week. But anyway,
I don't even focus on my opposition. I focus on my 20 minutes at a time. That's as far as I go ahead. You look too far ahead, and you're going to crash into what's right in front of you, which is never good. As Polston slices through. Did you have something to say, Will?
no, I was just laughing. I was going to say that what you're also usually running into is Riley Murray in that last game. Just a couple hours ago.
I'm actually not sure if we even came into contact, which is strange. We were matched up for a fair while, but sometimes that's just how things go. As Vaughan punts down to Logan, I've already put that game in the review mirror. What's past is past and nothing can be done. So any mention really just flies past me.
It's good not to learn from your mistakes. That never goes bad.
As Stafford Tour, I'm a prop, Will. I don't learn. As Stafford Tour cleans up the short ball and goes out to Dustin Richards. He's going to get close on this push over here, but doesn't quite get there.
Butterfield was through.
Butterfield was in for the hat trick, but he wanted Dom Poxton to join him with 2 tries. They're just too nice, this Knights team. They've left 2 tries out there now, I think, passing behind the line as Butterfield now takes the hit up. They could be 40 points here. They could be crossing the 40, but I think they could do it anyway with the way they're looking. As Simpson now pops up and goes to Nenai. He's going to force his way over. There's no help, and Nenai too big, too strong, and the Knights are too good with 40 points tonight.
Great stuff there. I think he's gotten this ball down easily, and I think that Josh Butterfield may be calling for your title, mate, of the most selfless player in the league. He really could have got that hat-trick, but he wanted Dom Pongston to get one, you know? There's the green lights there, and yeah, that is going to be great for their for and against as well, the Knights.
Yeah, Butterfield, he might want that title, but when players try to leave the Warriors, I just let them go. So I think he's got a way to go to catch me still. As Knights are going to try and slot this one over. That'll be 42 points. A 30-point win here for the Knights, notwithstanding any final minute heroics, which, with the way they've been going, might still happen. What's next for this Panthers team, do you think, Will?
Well, next for the Panthers team, I'm not too sure who they're playing next week, as I look in a second. But it is just moving on. You got to throw this game away and just think, they've got the Raiders next week. Oh, good God.
All right, so they will be dreaming of Eli Barnes for a week after this game. They've been monstered by Pongston tonight, and he's good, but unfortunately he's not yet Eli Barnes, who has been astronomical so far this season. Just building on his legacy, really. So they're going to have a very hard job containing him. Yes. And that's not even counting the likes of Tim James, Jordan Lewis. They're strong all over the park so far, and
I would say
maybe the Panthers will focus on the next 2 minutes rather than look ahead to next week.
As
Butterfield goes out to Goku Simpson, and he's through the line. I think that's maybe his 3rd line break for the game, so a good half for the young winger. Looking to really press forward as Pongston's through. Fullback wasn't at home, but that could be Jimmy Ralph there in cover maybe. He's been stuck at that second row position, and that 90 speeds helped him out. As now back in the loop, he goes to Butterfield with the bomb. Is there one more try left here for the Knights?
Chrissy! Butterfield! Oh my God!
I thought there was. There's 53 seconds left on the game, and the Panthers had given up on the ball, but the Knights hadn't. And that was almost a cherry on top here for this Knights team, but nonetheless, a resounding victory for them as Jason Lomu gets through Goku Simpson, but Dockley traps him up. And I think that could be all she wrote here as Matty Hughes takes the tackle. Just lay down, son. There's 5 seconds left. No, he goes out to Callum Irwin, who goes to Caval, who's wrapped up there. And that is the game. The Knights running out emphatic 42-10 winners over the Penrith Panthers. And Dom Ponkston will be happy. He's got his first win of the season. His first win as captain. Always a good one to get here. And the Knights will be very happy looking forward. Doklich is a monster. He's towering over his opposition there. And for the Panthers, I think maybe some soul searching, maybe a Ouija board, try and bring someone back from the dead. I'm not really sure what's next for them, but I trust Lennox to figure it out as we look at some stats. You can take this, Will.
Here we go then. You know, the Panthers, they're not completing 7 of their sets and a penalty to go along with it. To the Knights, 4 incompletions and 2 penalties. I thought the Knights, that was a big improvement for them. They completed their sets. That's what they needed to do this week. It was such a hassle last week for them, and that's a big improvement from Dom Ponkston's boys. Apart from that, Panthers had to make about 31 more tackles than them. They missed 14 more, and Knights got 10 more line breaks than their opponents. So it's
60% possession as well.
Yes, 60% possession.
Yeah, they were outclassed tonight, unfortunately, for the poor Penrith Panthers.
We look at some of the individual stats, and wow, Chad Johnson, 219 meters. That is good for him. And then you've got your fullback at 139. I think that's pretty much. It was just Chad Johnson that was really making those meters, and if your fullback's only getting 139 with 6 line breaks as well, like that's a lot of line breaks but not making the meters. I don't know if that's something to say about the Panthers' offense or the Newcastle Knights' defense.
Yeah, I think that's the tale of the tape here in this heavyweight fight. Cody Mansour, the fullback, just did not get any kick returns because the Knights just pumped downfield all night. They barely punted. Most of his line breaks came from set starts and tackles. He barely had any punt returns, and that's the fullback's bread and butter. So I think, like you said, whether that's Panthers defense or Knights attack, either way, they need to get their fullback involved more.
And then we look at some of these Knights stats now. Dom Ponkston, mammoth effort from him. 285 meters, 8 line breaks, and a try assist and a try to his name. That's what you want to see from not only your fullback, but your captain. Great numbers from him tonight.
Oh, terrific. He's been a bit down with how the Knights season's been going, taking it quite hard, and it's good to see him lead the team to a victory here. We also have Butterfield, of course, with the 2 tries and the 1 try assist. In the first, he had pretty much, that could be the best first half I've seen almost ever from a half. He just dominated. Shackelford, 126 meters in his 40 minutes with that mammoth run that set up one of the tries. Just class all around the park today. Coda Diab, only 81 meters, but it felt like the 3 line breaks. It just seemed like he made things happen. And not a whole lot in the missed tackle column for the Knights, which is always pleasing as well. Bo Sadler, 22 tackles made with none missed, is good for the middle.
Yeah, and they tried out Christian Bocciagalupi in the middle there. 13 tackles, 1 missed. That's a pretty good effort from the half. He's only slight, but he played that role pretty well, and I thought he was good in the efforts that he had and the opportunities that he had. So I think that is a shining light, and maybe that is something that the Knights will be looking to do more throughout the season. I'd also like to point out, majority of this Knights team has cracked 100 meters. So that is a big effort.
Yeah, just sharing the love, really, isn't it? And you can see why they got up tonight. Just the meters gained, like you just pointed out, it's terrific for this Knights team. Yeah, you don't often see that. I think the more you look, the worse it gets for the Panthers, unfortunately. But they'll be looking forward to next week. Was this the last game of the round, Will? I believe it was.
It sure
I'm a bit
was,
scattered from our game earlier, not quite recovered mentally. But that's it from us tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Maybe not poor Panthers fans, but the rest of the league and fans, I hope you had a great night. I am Snicko Bro, joined by the Commissioner, William K. And we will see you next week for some more SRL action.